We consist of about 80 churches, and there are 9 language groups that are associated with this association. And in that, there's probably 21 that are what you would call a language mission. We have Korean, Chinese, Brazilian, Hispanic. We have Ukrainian, Russian. We have an unusual group that most people would not think of as a language group, but it's a cowboy church. And believe me, it's another language. I think the reason that I'm passionate about the internationals that live among us is because I once was an international living in a foreign land, and having someone who cared and who showed concern and who was in some ways friendly to our being there made all the difference in the world. I met with one of my pastors who has become one of my dearest friends in the world, and he was a former employee of NAM, North American Mission Board, and of course I was a former employee of the International Mission Board. And then we realized, he was the one that informed me 94.4% of all the evangelical ministers in America have some form of formal training, an institute, Bible Institute, or a seminary, or something that was a formal training so they can understand the Bible and understand the applications of what the Bible teaches. But when you get outside of our country, that drops to less than 4%. So we realized we had a need here, and we thought, what could we do to minister to this need? And so that was how the school was born. The Global Networks for Theological Training, that's how that started. And then he branched off and has done the exact same thing with pastor to pastor. We decided after they finished all 12 classes, and the way we had to do this was we would teach one class. It would take 2 days to teach an entire, basically a seminary level class. And then we'd come back months later to teach the next class, because these people had jobs. They had to provide for their families. When we finished all 12 classes, we wanted to honor those that had taken all 12 classes. We made them a diploma, and the tears of joy that they would shed when receiving these diplomas. And then I would go to their homes later, and there in the most prominent location in their home would be that and I was so surprised that was such a huge thing for them. And I realized when my friend and I sat at that little coffee shop and thought this thing over, I had no idea that we would be doing so much for so many in such a dramatic way.